Lost out there and you're all alone. Lion is waiting to carry you home. Everywhere you look.
Everywhere you look.
Ba-boom-a-doo, you look. But here it comes. Shibbity bop ba da.
Welcome back to another episode of On the Mat with Couch. I'm your host, Matt. Joining me today, my guest, Yashi. Welcome.
Hello. Oh my God. I can't stand you.
So, we're here for another episode. Thanks again for tuning in, checking out the show. We always appreciate that. We've got a really exciting show for you today. But first things first, we've got to address is the heartbreak that's, happened to everyone recently.
America's favorite dad.
Oh, shit. No. Okay. We're talking about Bob Saget? Okay.
That's what's the other America's heartbreak.
Oh. I was...
Betty White.
Yeah, but we talked about Betty White last week.
Yeah, that's old
So,
news.
Betty White...
Bob Saget.
We've already cried for Betty White.
Yep.
Or,
Sidney Poitier.
And we talked about Sidney. Oh, no, we didn't talk about Sidney Poitier. Yes, that's what I was talking about was Sidney Poitier, America's favorite black man who's coming to dinner.
Yeah. Wow.
First African American to win an Oscar.
Yep.
As an actor.
Yep.
Died at 94.
Lived a great life.
Blessed.
Bless.
Unlike that dirty son of a bitch Bob Saget.
Whoa, man. It's America's favorite dad.
When did we take this poll that decided he was our favorite dad?
Who else could it be?
I was going to say Archie Bunker.
No. That racist fucking prick. The fuck? Bob Saget was a single man to three
Dr.
daughters.
Huxtable?
Agreed.
He was pill popping bitches.
Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince.
Yeah, he was
Carl
good.
Winslow.
Carl
Winslow was a great father.
Pig.
He was sort of a pig, but
Just saying.
Okay.
yeah. But yeah, I don't remember when we Malcolm in the Middle, Bryan
He took
Cranston.
care of his three daughters alone, plus his brother-in-law and his best friend.
No, he couldn't take care of them alone. He had to invite the other two guys to come in.
It takes a village.
This guy was...
He did it right.
No, this guy was making mad local cable news money. And in San Francisco, in one of those giant houses, right by the freaking bay. No, this guy was set. And if he needed help, just hire a nanny or two. No.
No, he got free
Bob
help.
Saget was not the hero everyone made him out. Or, sorry, Danny Tanner. Bob Saget
Was great.
Well,
He was funny.
Yeah, he was funny. You know that he also had three daughters growing up as well.
There you go.
And
That's
I think
why he played that role so well.
They're probably well adjusted.
Yeah, they're probably sad.
Oh shit. So yeah, by the way, guys, we're playing a Power Hour as well. That was, I guess we missed the first two.
Drink.
So yeah, play along with us, guys. But anyway, Bob Saget. Bob fucking Saget. He's gone.
He's gone.
Do you remember when he made that switch from the American Every Dad
To I Suck Dick for Crack?
No, not the I Suck Dick for Crack move. Because I think there was a gap there. I think that was just out of left field.
That was...
No, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. That's like an iconic...
funniest videos.
Yeah, but that's the same time he's doing pretty much Full House and whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, when he became a dirty comic, which would have been in like the mid 2000s.
Drink.
Yeah.
I remember watching an HBO special that he did sometime around then, like 2005, 2007. And that's all he did for 45 minutes to an hour was make the dirtiest, raunchiest jokes he could for that entire time.
He's a white man.
Well, but also to be, thought of as Danny Tanner and then coming out and doing this material. It was definitely for shock value and whatnot. But, I mean, he kept it up pretty much the entire time. I mean, he was a comedian before.
Right.
He made it big with the shows and whatnot. So, yeah, seems like he'll be greatly missed by, many people. Sorry, Bob.
Sorry, Bob. This is for you.
Drink.
I hate him.
Why don't you guys reach out to us and tell us
Your thoughts.
tell us how Bob Saget affected you guys. Tell us how Bob Saget touched you.
You better not.
Seriously?
He did nothing of the sort.
No, I meant like touch their lives. And if he really touched you guys.
I guess, I want to know.
Because, reach out to the police first.
No.
Maybe
You waited that long. Don't. Just tell us. Nobody
tell us,
cares anymore. He's dead.
They waited for Bill Cosby.
He's not dead.
Well,
Damn yeah.
did you see him when he came out of prison?
Right? I feel bad.
I was
out
like,
of
man, you guys
prison?
should have just killed him.
I didn't even know he was out of prison.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, he got his sentence commuted.
Drink.
Really?
He's back on the prowl.
Drink.
Good for you, Mr. Cosby.
R. Kelly's still locked up though.
That's what happens when you start a cult.
Kanye West.
Well, yeah, but he's not fucking kids.
Right. Well, he wasn't fucking kids. He was fucking teenagers
Okay.
that thought they
I
were
just can't
grown-ass
draw that line.
women.
If I draw that line, it sounds like I'm a creep. So.
If you did the same thing, you would be in jail right with him. But
Well, okay, I thought we were just talking about how he should be out of jail.
he should.
Okay.
He's too old to do that now. What the fuck are you gonna do, R.
We
Kelly?
do not
You're like
endorse
56. What are you gonna do, R.
hemophilia.
Kelly?
Guys,
The fuck?
do not sleep with people underage.
Don't.
Be sure to check your local state laws. Double check those
Some
things.
little fast ass girls be thinking they grown.
Watch out, guys. They're coming for you.
Drink.
Speaking of
Drink.
the girls coming for guys, there's some spicy news.
You and the spicy
Oh, and you're going
word.
to love that.
Oh my
With
god.
Drake.
Okay.
So recently, he hooked up with this chick. She's like IG model or something like that.
Okay.
And he brought her back to the hotel room. They smoked a bit, and then he asked if she would be interested in having sex, and she said that he like laid it out so well, like he was making sure that he had consent like the entire time and whatnot. And then he's wearing a condom. He finished. Like she said, after like 20 minutes, he went to the bathroom and got cleaned up or whatever.
Drink.
Then he came out of the bathroom. She went in and found the condom
Jesus Christ.
and shot it up into her.
Turkey basted.
Turkey basted.
Okay.
Classic move.
She's, yeah.
And she then proceeded to start screaming
Rape.
because he had put hot sauce in the condom to kill the sperm.
Good move. Good
Fucking
move.
King
Bravo.
I read it before you
Bravo.
talked about what you was talking about. I said the
Good
same
for
thing.
him.
Man.
like
Them hoes. Them hoes are dumb
there's
as
these
fuck.
gene stealing hoes out there that are coming
They're
to
coming
have
for
your
that
kids.
check, not for the jeans. They're coming for that money.
Well, I know, but that's not like you got to protect your genes.
Fuck the jeans. What jeans?
I don't know.
The
those-
mixed Canadian jeans.
Drink.
What? The fuck?
Yeah.
No, they're coming for his money. Champagne puppy my ass.
So, anyway, props to you.
That was a good move, though.
Drake.
Bravo.
I gotta give it to you.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Dumbass hoes. That's what she gets.
Oh, but she is trying to press charges against him for it.
She can't.
Why? Those aren't her
I
bodily
know.
fluids.
So,
You're stealing
it-
his bodily fluids
I think
at
it's
this point.
definitely going to epically backfire in her case.
What a
But
joke. What a clown. Fucking fire crotch clown ass bitch. That's dumb. Why?
oh man,
Broke bitches.
They just need garbage cans with safes now where you can't open it. Like you can throw it in there, but you can't go back and get it.
Goes right to the center.
I'm just like
Right.
I'm imagining how
Drink.
painful it is to have hot sauce
And your
on your
vagina?
genitalia, in your genitalia. That just sounds terrible.
Go home and tell me what happened.
No, just,
I bet it would. I mean, it would have to
You seem a
hurt.
little bit too curious.
can you imagine like crushing up some jalapeno seeds and then just
Oh,
grabbing a thing of Vaseline and going to town?
that's a
See
good
which one.
idea.
See if you come first or you quit from
See
the
that? You
pain.
hear that?
That sounds like a game.
Listen to that, ladies. That's a good one.
I'm thinking about doing that at the bachelor party.
Oh my god.
We race.
Oh my god.
You're awful.
You're horrible. Yeah.
And then I videotape it and blackmail everyone.
So you all really $5,000. If you don't, I guess who's writing in this? Drink.
I'm sure the mayor would love to see this video.
I need another one. And another one.
Oh, there we go.
Thanks.
And
Helplessness.
oh, by the way, we do not encourage binge drinking
Yes, we do. That's why
on
we're playing
this
the game.
channel.
Do it. It's okay.
Ha ha! Funny joke, Joshi. Ha ha!
Well, I mean, don't drink Monday through Thursday. Just make up for it Friday through Sunday.
There you go, lady.
All right. So it's cool to talk about binge drinking. It's not cool to talk about God's chosen people. We've laid down the groundwork.
Drink.
I wasn't chosen. But
All right. So the major topic, the big enchilada, if you will. That we're gonna get into.
The-
Professor Joshi has come to, educate me on.
It's not so much of an education on you. I just need to make sure you know.
I think I know.
I don't think you do.
I think I know more than anyone could possibly know.
Now,
No, I was telling Phil on the ride back
I don't care what
that
you were
there
telling
was
him.
very
It's none of my business.
little. There was very little
That you didn't know.
that I
get
didn't
it.
know, and it and those details
And that makes
weren't
it-
as weren't the important ones, I think, in his thing.
Drink.
So, saying,
But real quick, so I can explain to everyone. So we're going to be talking about the Great Extermination.
the world's, say it.
No,
Biggest.
I'm not. I will not use that word. We will get into it. But pretty much what we're talking about is the loss of life suffered by Siberian Americans in
That's not.
North and South America.
What?
So why am I a Siberian American now?
Well, no,
I was never an American.
well, no, in the way that you would have a German American or an English American or a African American or a Chinese American.
But there's no American in it. I was part of the Taino tribe that was obliterated by Columbus.
Well, okay, so this is where I want to cut the conversation in half, and we can start on one half and then
Fine.
go to the
Yeah,
other
that's-
and then
yep.
combine them
Let's
however
do
you
it.
want. But I think it's fair that we have to split them up at least in two parts.
Okay.
Like, we've got to talk about Spain and, Central, South America,
conquistadors,
the
right.
Indies as one part of the conversation.
Okay.
And then the English/American colonies, and then turning into America and that conversation
Okay.
as two different stories. Because I think those are two different
Yeah.
cases of what's going on.
They are.
With some similarities.
By the time the English came in, the damage was already done.
Yeah, you can definitely, for sure, because
The Spanish started it.
the English are only first coming around 1600,
Right. The British
Which
are coming.
is-
The British are coming.
100 years
got
after
nothing
the
to do with
Spanish come. And then they're also not even big for another 150 years as far as the amount of land that they actually control.
Right.
But even then, it's still tiny in comparison to what the Spanish are in control of in the New World. So I think those are two different stories. So I think we should start at the beginning, which is with the the southern indigenous peoples.
The Southern
The
has
Cen-
been
Central.
the Caribbean Holocaust.
Yeah. The Caribbean, Mexico, South America.
Okay.
That's where we should
That's
start
what
because
we
that's
should,
where
'cause that's
Spain
where it
is the
started.
first one that comes
Right.
in and starts. So, do I think that what the southern half experienced could be
Drink.
considered a Holocaust?
Yes. Would you?
That one, I can make an argument that it's definitely closer. But the issue, I think, with it, because I think Holocaust has a certain connotation to it.
because you hear it and you think Jew.
No, that's not what no, because I can think of other examples of Holocausts, too. The thing I'm thinking of, though, is that a Holocaust is predetermined in the sense that the goal is extermination. And
You don't think it was?
I don't think the goal of the Spanish was extermination. I think that
Takeover.
because the majority, the vast majority of what killed indigenous peoples in the Americas is
Disease and germs.
but the Europeans didn't come over with the intention of getting people that were there sick, and also had no idea
Okay.
about the passing of diseases.
Okay, so you're jumping. No, it didn't initially start with disease from the jump. That's initially what took down the strong of the tribes, the Inca and the Aztecs and the Mayans. That's not what took out the Tainos. Straight carnage and violence is what took them out initially. It wasn't germ and
Yeah.
disease
No,
initially.
yes.
So that wasn't their initial stepping stone. Their first stop was Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And they obliterated everybody there. There was no, oh shit, we tried, but we left our germs there and then we came back and then took you out again. No. They came there and fucked shit up. Point blank. Is what they did. Now, when they came to the Incas on the other side, and they started to come in through there, time out. No, they lost. So they left germs and disease, and when they come back, they were weak. That's why they won.
Okay, but I mean, Puerto Rico is like the Tainos,
And not just Puerto Rico.
No,
Puerto
but-
Rico, the Dominican
no, okay,
Republic.
but the population of there is a blip on the radar compared to the populations of the Aztec and the Incan Empire.
I know, but
So,
that's what I'm
but what
saying.
I'm-
That blip was just
Well, okay, but I get that, and that's why I would say that the southern ones suffered definitely more in that regard, and could definitely be more considered a Holocaust. But I also do just the other. Oh no, Oh, damn it. No, I understand that. What I was getting at, though, is that with these, just overall, though, I mean, there weren't very many, like, major battles, in almost any of
No.
the, southern,
We
like,
weren't that
in the
type of
Spanish
people.
conquest. It was taking.
We were bamboozled and murdered.
Well, okay.
The only great battles happen when it's equal-sided armies. It wasn't like that.
Well, no, because it was. I mean,
We didn't even know what you guys were.
Oh, okay.
They were, that one prime example, they were singing songs because they thought a god was going to help them. And what did they do? They lit the cannon and a cannonball.
Yeah. No, I know. Okay, in that regard, yes, they used a trick to take over a people who numerically outnumbered them. Because, I mean, obviously you're operating from across the sea as opposed to being in your home territory and stuff like that. But, I mean, there's been countless cases where, a different force has been bamboozled by a.
But to this, not to extinction.
Well, okay, I push back on extinction for two reasons. Well, just one. But again, I would say that the majority is not them coming over to murder the natives of these lands, or at least the people that are there currently, because the Taínos weren't the natives of Puerto Rico. They were the, third tribe to be in Puerto Rico. The Atarantids were the first natives of Puerto Rico. They got pushed out by another group that came and took the lands from, either Mexico or Central America. And then the Taínos ended up being the third tribe to take over the island and were in control of it for about 800 years prior to Christopher Columbus getting there. So they're not even the first.
Came and destroyed it.
Okay, but the main thing that's killing them, though, is not the Spanish, being bloodthirsty or trying to kill these people. They were much more interested in, using them as slaves or workers.
That's where it becomes different, because we did also have the discussion of Rome and the takeovers there. It's all the same. Do you understand? Remember when I was telling you we have a language that is lost because the people that were there, whether it be the Taínos or the tribes prior, their languages were the same. A whole different
okay,
came.
but I mean that's also happened throughout history too. People don't speak Assyrian anymore because those people got taken over. Babylonians. We don't have people speaking Babylonian anymore because those people got taken over and their language and stuff was destroyed. This has happened countless times throughout history, though.
How many Babylonians are there today?
0.
Okay, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, but how many people of native ancestry are still alive today? Of varying degree.
Because it was taken out by Christopher Columbus.
No, but that's the thing
But
is
we have us.
they weren't mostly it was just if the disease hadn't wiped out the natives, then there just would have been more there would have been assimilation on a larger scale. At least, or eventually, or greater conflict, and
but
they would have fought
within
more.
themselves.
Well, I mean, but well, okay. I see. This is the thing where. Oh yeah.
Y'all are sucking this now with allergies.
No, we're not.
Y'all are sucking right
Because this is serious. Because this is serious. And
Okay, so but the idea of the main centers of Central and South America, which lost to
no, South America, blah, 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 blah. They're damn near untouched.
well, no, no, they definitely lost less
Emperor's
people.
New Groove,
No, they
those
definitely
people are
they
straight
definitely lost
native.
less people, but they were the majority losers of gold.
Of everything.
Well, as far as well, no, because
See, but that's different. So I'm getting at to the point of the Caribbean Holocaust, where the Dominican and Cuba and Puerto Rico and all the other little islands were damn near wiped out during that. Then we move to the rest of my Latin culture and their gold and their silver and their art and their cities and their everything that was taken.
Okay.
And not only that it was taken, it's not even talked about until now that we're grown, or when you're an adult and you look up the different historians and who wrote this and who wrote that, to find out about it as a grown up and not in natural history as everything else.
Okay, but see, that's the thing is, like, you also said, like, with them being wiped out, that these are different peoples coming in and stuff like that. Like, the way Rome operates and the way,
Right.
like, Gaul operates, they speak two completely different languages. I mean, even today, you look at the languages we speak. No, I'm gonna walk that back. What I want to talk about is the stuff that I did agree with first. I can totally understand, like, a resentment, like if I put myself in the other shoes, for sure. If I imagine my culture being wiped out,
Just
I will say that, and this is probably an unpopular opinion, that's kind of why I'm not a big fan of multiculturalism.
Wow.
I think that's the beauty of cultures, is that they're different.
right.
Drink.
Right. I think that it is too.
I think it's important to, I mean, it's okay to reevaluate your cultural beliefs and stuff like that.
Yeah, because some of it's just wild.
Yeah, no,
Like,
yeah,
come
no.
on.
If you look at some of the ways we've changed over humanity's history, for sure, like, I'm glad we don't do, like, sacrifices anymore and
Right,
stuff like
go
that.
Get that virgin. We ain't gonna fuck it. We gonna kill it.
Yeah, no, I think we've re-examined some things fairly, but I think it is also important to keep cultural things alive,
Right.
because I do think it's a way to keep people that would otherwise not be
And it's just
associated with each
sad
other.
That the basis of what we are and what we have is only whatever the Spanish brought here and was
No,
let
no, and
loose.
yep, I know,
And that
no, yeah,
sucks.
no, yeah. So, well, there are still, obviously
Because
people,
we had
especially
Africans, we had Lebanese, we had Arabic, we had all kinds of people that were let loose on these islands, and whatever they had back then and whatever they practiced is what we think my ancestral line goes down to. There's nothing else that was there prior.
Now I get that there's Indians still in South America, like especially like
Indigenous people. Not the... but
yeah,
the
okay,
whole-
well, you know what I'm talking about.
I know.
Well, I actually think I prefer the term Siberian American.
I don't. You know why?
Why?
You make me sound white, and I'm not.
Why is Phil sound white when I say African American?
Yes.
And yes,
Really?
he's Nigerian.
I'm Nigerian American.
He's
Okay.
well, you are American because you're American.
But
I mean,
okay.
we're all
No.
American because, like, literally, we were
But I
born
know
here.
I'm from Africa, so saying I'm African.
Yeah, I know,
American
and I know
makes
where the
sense.
people that lived,
Drink.
1,000 years ago in the Americas were from Siberia.
Yeah, but that's not me, and I don't like it.
Well, I mean, technically it is you.
No, see,
you may
you're
not like
using-
that term. It may not be like the preferred term, and I would
It
be
is not
willing
a
to admit
preferred-
that it's not widely accepted or anything by that. But I mean,
But I'm not a Siberian American.
well, yes, but your ancestors,
No.
like that's where the Tainos and the
Aztec.
Aztecs
The
and the
Mayans.
Incas and all of them all of their ancestors came to this continent from
where?
Siberia.
But how?
A land bridge.
A land bridge from where?
Siberia?
From Alaska and the Yukon Territory?
Well,
Through that way?
yeah, that's the way they came down. So, I mean, that's where their people originated at. And don't get me wrong, obviously we can draw this line all the way back to fucking Africa.
Right.
Except for the little bit of Neanderthal DNA we got.
Well, I'm not Neanderthal.
Well, you're part
Speak for
Irish, so you're
yourself.
definitely part
You ain't come
Neanderthal.
up on my 23andMe.
No. Well, get out.
No, for real.
You don't
Irish.
get Neanderthal popping up on your 23.
It does, though. It does.
No,
say
it
that.
doesn't.
Yes,
It does. There's
I will show you.
there's
Yes,
a.
it does.
Okay, well, if you have Irish in you, if you have any white in you, which you would have from being Irish,
He does, and he's British.
that you would have some. It might be minuscule, but you still have some.
Nope, not one.
So in the 23andMe, there is a section that tells you how much percentage of Neanderthal you have, and his was 0.
Okay, but does 0 mean 0, or could 0 mean like 0.01?
No, it said
No,
zero.
mean like zero.
It said 0.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you right now that
They're
it's wrong.
You're wrong.
Because
I knew
every
it. I knew it.
single every
Big for
single white
nothing.
person has a varying degree of
I'm
Neanderthal
not white.
DNA in them. Yeah, you are. I mean, you have some white in you because you're Latino. Unless you're 100% pure indigenous person, which is possible but
And
rare, then you're going to have
probably
some
possible.
combination, like what's his name, John Leguizamo said in the special, of you're going to have some white in you. You might have some black in you.
I definitely know
You might
that.
have a Middle Eastern in
I have
varying
Middle
degrees,
Eastern.
but also that Middle Eastern blood can also just be coming from the Spanish side because Spain was controlled by Muslims for like 1,000
Forever.
years, well,
Right,
like
but-
500 years or something
Drink
like
that
that.
much latte.
I did.
I wasn't talking to you.
You're being real aggressive. Jesus.
So I mean that can come from a lot of places, but like I said, I'm willing to much more admit the much greater loss that happened, but that's also because I think the size of the cultures, comparatively speaking, like the Incas and the Aztecs had cities. They
Right.
were largely economic.
Right.
They actually had generals.
They had
They
scientists,
they were quite
philosophers.
advanced, in my opinion, comparatively speaking to the rest of
To the
thing.
Caribbean.
So like I said, I'll acknowledge that.
But
Great.
as big as it's much big as her.
But I think then that's the thing is like instead of because it feels like the ire for what happened in the southern and central parts of America gets directed back towards America as opposed to with Spain.
Because America didn't make it right by acknowledging us. It's no different than European art being considered fine art, and now all our shit that was once beautiful decades and hundreds of years ago is folk. Like nothing we do is taken serious. Like we literally are the second class citizen, even though it was us that was here before any American or any body, whether
Yeah.
they came from Siberia in that era.
But
We were
okay,
here.
but in that case, every country that currently exists is sitting on top of land that belonged to someone else at some other time.
Yeah, and those customs of whatever was there is still there.
No, they aren't. I mean, like,
But they are, like, certain things are still there, certain
no,
landmarks.
a
and
lot
certain
of things
treasures
get
are
wiped.
still there.
No, that's not true at all. Like, there are countless civilizations, like, not countless, but I mean, there is a
Right, and
huge
I
number of
get
civilizations that have
like,
just been wiped off
I
the
know,
map.
like
that they're called-
Mesopotamia, that was my favorite. Because I like the way it sounds when
Yeah.
I say it. What I'm talking about is it's not even a civilization. It's damn near a whole ethnicity and race of everybody in the Americas. Every Latina and every Latino in these parts over here is not acknowledged in a proper way. But you have people in Spain that are kings and queens that are, but since they sent somebody over here and took away what we had going on over here, whether we had civil wars and other tribes trying to come in and do, that's just human nature and that's how it goes down. But none of that is saved because somebody else came and completely wiped it off and gave us them.
Okay, but prior to 100 and so years ago, with the United States gaining control of Puerto Rico, prior to that, so the first 130 years of the United States existence, the only interaction that they have with Latin America is really with the Mexican-American War.
Right. Against the white people.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing too, is like the guys who,
And it's not
the guys who are in charge of
that's not
Mexico
fair.
when they've got their independence.
I'm not taking
are white
away
guys.
from any Mexicans with that war or whatnot because I understand why it was happening. What gets me is that that's the only thing that's ever like subjectively talked about
No, I
when
agree.
it comes to Hispanics or Latin. Like we don't
No, I
have
think
anything. And
I think the
sucks.
stories of like the Aztecs, the Incas,
like
to
they
some
were
extent, the
strong
Mayans
and
are talked
beautiful
about.
tribe. I get it. Still wasn't mine.
No, I know, but they are those three, those tribes, like especially the Aztecs and the
They're the
Incas.
staple of what we are.
Well, they're 95% of the population of South and Central.
'Cause- yeah, right. They are.
Yeah, so
Of
I
the
mean that's why it's going
Americas.
to be talked
And
about
this
more.
this is where I come in like a little tumbleweed because I'm not. We're part of this little baby thing in the Caribbean islands that has nothing to do with the Incas and the Mayas or South America or Central America or North America, period. We don't have anything to do with that.
No, I know, and that sucks. But I will say this: like, if you put Puerto Rico and the Tainos anywhere in the world, that would have happened to them.
I don't think so.
No.
Don't do me like that. Don't.
No, if Puerto Rico gets put out like off the coast of Japan, the
I
Japanese
just-
are taking it over. If that island gets placed outside of like on the north coast of Egypt, the Egyptians, whoever's in control of it at the time, is taking it over. The Greeks are going to be taking wherever
It's
you put
just-
that island.
Right,
with,
but that's
the reason why is
I'm
because
trying to
the
get you to
people the
understand.
people of the island are hunter gatherers, and every hunter gatherer civilization, except in the modern day, because we
of different weaponry.
gets pushed out of the way by an agricultural society, and that's just the way it goes. Like it's a sad
it's-
truth, but it's a truth of the world. Like a hunter-gatherer society will never be able to stand up against a agricultural society. They just can't win, which is why the natives of
Right,
Yeah,
and that is completely understandable. And I get that that's the way of the world. My problem and anger comes from the non-acknowledgement. The what lengths I have to and the voice that I have to be for my Caribbean people. Because no, everybody's like pish posh applesauce. That's not fair.
Well, and I can empathize with that because, okay, so I think conservative estimates for natives, indigenous, Siberian Americans, whatever you want to call them,
Thank you.
north of Mexico. So in what we call the United States and Canada, Low estimates have it at like 1.5 to 2 million people when Columbus arrives.
Drink.
High estimates range from 7 to 10 million. So, when you enter that into the equation, and we don't have because we don't have an official number of natives in America until a census in
And
like
that,
1850.
That blows my mind even more because there's not the amount of people that were probably just taken out is so much higher than what's recorded.
No. If anything, like, I really think that it's closer. I don't think it's 1 million. I think it's, in honesty, like closer to like 2 to 3 million. But like high estimates today are like in the 7 to 10 million, which I think is for political reasons why those numbers are chosen.
Drink.
But if we look at the first census in the 1850s, what's it called? Native population at that time is 400,000 natives
That's it.
compared to
75 million.
No. I'm talking about just the United States and Canada, and the estimates are
In the
low ball
1800s.
1 to 2 million, high ball 7 to 10 million
Right.
in America
from
plus
starting 75 million.
Canada. No. The I mean, I would need to look at what the population of the world was at that point to double check, but that seems tremendously high.
That's why it's considered the world's greatest genocide because it started at 75 million and 95%. 95% of them were done for.
See, I think the numbers are greatly exaggerated in that regard because if
I'm gonna
America,
choke you with this pie.
if America, and don't get me wrong, the Central and South America had cities, so it is possible maybe that they were able to support that amount of.
I'm talking about the tribes that were in North America, the tribes that were in South, Central, and the Caribbean islands. All of that equaled 75 million. And by the time the European countries and Spain came, they took out 95%.
See, I don't know if that number's accurate.
That number is extremely accurate. Think about it. You're talking about tribes that were huge, the 3 top ones, and riddled of island. That was 95%.
See, that is a problem that, like, I'm not saying it's any less of a tragedy if there's,
And that's not either. This is what I'm trying to gain, is that number's real, and all that murder happened, that's real, and it's just the acknowledgement to say
in the year estimated in the year 1500, so 8 years after Columbus arrives, there's 461 million people on the planet. If the 95 or 75?
75, 73 point whatever.
Okay, 75 is fine. If 75 million is accurate, that would be 150. That would be roughly.
It is accurate. I
That
stand
would
by
be
my
one.
word.
That would be 1/6 of the world's population is residing in the New
Yeah.
World.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah.
But I
Yes.
think that is a bit.
I don't.
I really do.
I don't.
Because you have to take into account that we know for a fact that north of Mexico we have.
I took my drink, but I'll do it now.
North of Mexico we have pretty much no actual agricultural cities or anything like that. So we can only support.
But there was still people. There was people.
Yeah, I know,
in North
but
Dakota,
hunter-gatherers
there
can
was
only
people-
support so many people.
Right, but this is what I'm saying. Is throughout that time, throughout the whole time, and whatever was decided and what put up, and all them fighting and stuff, that's how many people were taken out. 95% of a population, whether it be, because I know within the Latin community, I'm Puerto Rican, don't call me Mexican, blah, blah, blah. At the end of the day, we were all indigenous people, and we were done for. And then when they fucking ran through my people, they brought in shiploads of slaves. Like, that's what they did. That's what happened.
Okay, I don't think we're gonna agree on this part.
No, we're not.
Okay, because I'm looking at, we have two major civilizations in in the Americas at the time. We've got the Aztecs and we've got the Incas. They have to have the majority of that population under their control.
And they did.
Okay, but we're talking
They did.
like we have to say the Aztecs are in charge of
They were
20
gang.
million people, and we have to put the Incas in charge of 50 million
So
people.
you don't think that
Forget
could happen? We have the president of the United States. Just because of how things run right now, that man is running how many millions of people? You don't think strong, smart-ass tribes back then did the same thing?
Well, no. That's the thing. Is I'm not saying that there weren't millions of people under the control of either of those two people. I just feel that number is really high, which is why I wasn't bringing numbers up when I was talking about the South, because I don't know how many people
You know
live
why
down
you
there.
feel that number's high? Because you don't believe it happened.
No, I mean, clearly it happened. The Incans don't exist anymore. The Aztecs.
Right, I know, but I don't think that you believe in the severity of how it happened.
Well, no, I mean, it was severe in the sense that, a culture was lost. I don't I think if you go down the line, I can find.
That's what blows my mind is that you say that a culture was lost, but yet there's so many people left that is supposed to be our culture. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know, but in that same regard, you could point that to every other person's culture and history, because at some point they're related to a culture that was destroyed.
But it's not that it's being related. I'm not related to it. Puerto Rico is a country that I'm from. It's not that I'm relating with that person. That's where I'm from, but there's nothing there no more.
Yeah,
I need another beer.
The Gaelic tribes that I'm sure I have some ancestors to in fucking France don't exist anymore.
And I know, and then see, but that's where it's different, because you're looking at this minuscule part of you. This is everything about me, though.
I don't think that. I think that's unfair, because I think you are taking a part of you and then transposing that over the entire part of you, because you do have European ancestry in you. You're not thinking about your European ancestry.
I'm not okay.
You're not looking
I'm
at.
I'm not embracing that part, because that part is the negative part. I have European ancestry because they came and pillaged and raped and killed our country and my people. That's why they're in me. So I'm not trying to be hey.
Yeah, I know, but a German and French person after World War II can still be proud of the fact that they have German ancestors and French ancestors.
But I can't.
Okay, and that's the disconnect. I think that I want to say
it's
that's part of European culture. Right. Is that's part and parlance of it was a new kingdom and a new king coming in and wiping out your way of life, instituting a new way of life. And then we just had to, adjust and change to that. And then,
But there was no adjustment. It was, you're wiped and goodbye. Because today, we ain't shit. We're everything. But there's no comparison. Every time there's anything that's spoken about race or anything about anything, it's
Okay,
Black and white.
okay, this is where I want to draw that line. I think the bigger problem with it happens outside of the United States in every country that is south of us. I think I think it's crazy. If you look up the national leaders of Mexico right now, every single one of them looks white.
Right.
If you look at the political leaders of almost all these South American, Central American, and you know why? Because it's been the exact same way since Spain took over those countries.
I know.
Okay, but guess what? We don't hear them
And this is where
for it though.
Right, but because you can't help how you look, especially being where from where you're from. But to be big like that in political things or anything, and this is just, we are whitewashed to think that that's the right way, period. You don't see dark-skinned and curly-haired people in the limelight because we're trained to see that that's not right.
It's not just like I'm talking for usually political figures. It's not like these people.
And that's what I'm talking to.
These people aren't plucked off the street because they're the white-looking guy. They are part of families who are long established.
They are
that have very little native blood usually.
Right.
Like they very rarely marry. They'll be marrying some European person.
Another one.
And that's how it happens.
That's how it's made to be. And those type of people have it easier. So that whole long family line of almost an Aryan nation is to come, because that's what we're taught is to be right. So the brown kid with the afro who has just the same thing as the blonde with blue eyes, no matter what time and year, is never going to be picked, because that person is put as an indigenous person and a second-class citizen, no matter what, because that's what we're forced to believe, is that
No, and I think that's where I was talking about where multiculturalism is a problem, because I don't want people that look differently than me to feel like they should have to look like me.
You. And I respect you
in the same way that I wouldn't want to be expected to look not like me.
And that's why
I can understand that.
That's why I love you, because you don't see it that way. But that's not the way of the world.
No, and I get that. But that's why I think that the social experiments of trying to mix cultures, and I don't want to say it, but
say it.
Maybe the best solution is some sort of balkanization, where we can cut the United States into a
line.
We'll do 4 lines. I think 4 lines is at least enough. We'll start there. We can always cut more, and then let people that
Asian, Spanish.
Yeah, and then we all still are Americans. We have Asian America, we have Latin America, we have Black America, we get White America, and then in the center we'll put the fucking Arabs and the Jews.
It can't. See, I'm Puerto Rican, but I love chocolate.
No, but see that's the thing. You could live on the border. See, it would be a perfect.
But it would always be a Romeo and Juliet thing.
No, because I'm not. See, the problem is you can still have that happening. It's just it shouldn't be the norm.
No, we should normalize it being. Everybody should just be one.
No, because then that's how we lose the culture. Then.
I don't mean it as everybody should be one, but I just mean it as.
Well, I know, but you're not going to
have to show you as a human, as an individual. Fuck what you are. Embrace what I am bringing to the table as human to human.
No, and I would say I think that's the best. I think people that want to experience that sort of thing, they can live closer to that center.
But being closed-minded to the point of I should only be with a person or spend my time with a person that looks like me is not good for you. Period.
No, I know,
It's
no, I'm not, no, because who am I to tell people like what they like? I don't think that that's the correct way to look at it. In that, if people want to have those biases, fine. Like that, I don't think that's a big deal. Like now, when we start trying to curtail people's rights, at least as far as being citizens and
real
stuff
sticky.
like then okay. But like when it comes to like personal preferences, associating with people, I think people should be allowed to associate as they want to associate.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but whatever. All I know is that we were exterminated, and that wasn't cool. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, okay, but see, and that's my other problem with that term, though. Extermination to me sounds purposeful, and it
Because
didn't
in a
seem
sense, it doesn't seem in a sense to you, and I'm not saying it just because you don't know, because I don't know what they went through either, but I do know what's missing and what's voided.
But we do know that the majority died from disease. To me, that doesn't sound like purposeful.
Right, the majority, and only because it was a bigger tribe did, but this is where my fight comes in, because I fight for the Caribbean Holocaust, because it wasn't disease that took us out. It was straight rape, pillage, violence, initial. It was not, we left them syphilis.
I know, but if a couple thousand people get murdered, I understand that's bad, but that's a 9/11.
Okay, no, it's not. It wasn't a couple thousand that got murdered.
I mean, there
during
couldn't have been much
the
more than that on the
Caribbean Holocaust. It was 3.1 million people.
No,
and that
no
it
way.
was. It was. Look it up. It was.
No.
That's why it's considered the Caribbean Holocaust, and it's just a bunch of people who
Look,
doesn't believe
see,
that happened.
this is my problem.
That's why.
This is why
if I did a 23andMe, I'm not gonna have Taino in me. I'm gonna have Arabic. I'm gonna have everything but that. But I'm still Puerto Rican.
Okay, but this is we're just going to get back to that numbers issue because, like I said, low estimates in North America minus Mexico is 1 to 2 million. High estimates is 7 to 10 million. There's no way there's 3 million
really
people
not agree.
on the islands in the Caribbean.
No, there's not. Well, yeah, there is. How many people live in Puerto Rico right now?
There's 3 million people that live in Puerto Rico right now. But guess
Okay,
what? Those
boom,
people aren't.
punto.
Those
Healthy
people
times.
those people aren't hunter gatherers. Land can only support so many hunter gatherers.
How you know? Puerto Rico
'Cause we
is
get-
lavish
we-
all the time. We do coffee, we have livestock, we have sugar cane, we have tobacco, we have mangoes that grow like that all year round. We don't have seasons where it stops.
No, I know, but you're still relying on just the food.
And
That's-
fishing.
Well, okay, no, I understand that, but you're still a hunter gatherer people. Like
That just is normal all the time.
I know, but like we've been able to map that. Like if you look at natives anywhere, like we can look at that population growth pretty easily. We can look at those number like.
I want to bite your face.
I
swear to God.
like
I just
I
wanna
don't have the
hit
numbers
him.
pulled up in front of me. I really should have.
No, you really should have, because absolutely not. You
It was a
can't
rainforest,
have them,
like Puerto Rico
because you
rainforest.
can't say that the numbers that I'm saying is not real, because when you look them up,
No,
they
but
are real.
no, because there's different groups
Drink.
that have different numbers.
And it was a rainforest though too, so it would be a lot more hunting ground.
Okay, and I'll say this: it seems like the people that are more focused on, and like I said, I don't think it changes. Like, even if you make it the highest end you can make it, it doesn't change, I think, how I feel about it, which is it sucks that a culture was lost.
Forever.
For sure.
Forever,
For sure,
ever.
yeah.
Forever.
And yeah, no, 100%. And but like The way
Okay.
that I can't let that affect me is the same way that I can't let it affect me that
Right.
other ones have happened.
And this is what I know. Me and probably a ton of other Latinas and Latinos out there think like you say that and you say it is what it is, but there's just
Great.
no acknowledgement of how great we were. And it's like, yeah, I get it, but whatever, that's what happens. Like, that's not the response that we're trying to get.
3 minutes to the hour mark.
We're trying to be remembered, and the acknowledgement of how great we were is forgotten because it was taken. I get it. We're hunters and gatherers. We weren't this fucking Roman Empire. We weren't this other strong Ottoman Empire where we had armies on armies that knew how to attack. We were hunters and gatherers that fucking lived in the Caribbean and loved life or whatever. And we get no acknowledgement for being taken out.
No, but if we're looking at that regard, I would say they get much more regard and respect than any other hunter-gatherer population
Only
that's been
because
removed.
we don't shut the fuck up about
No,
it.
well, I think it's mainly because it's the most recent. Because hunter-gatherers were pushed out of, Africa, Europe. I mean, obviously there's some left, just in the same
know.
way there's some still left in South America. But
In South America, not in Puerto Rico.
no, but what I meant is hunter-gatherers were pushed out of all these other places hundreds, mostly thousands of years ago because civilizations grew up quicker in those spots.
That's it.
And
There's smarter people, stronger people.
well,
The strong will always
we don't
prevail.
have people coming over here into the Americas until 10,000 years ago. So,
Right.
It's going to be a little bit behind. So it makes
Yeah,
sense.
It does.
But
I get it.
yeah, no, but it's also the most recent occurrence of it, which,
It's the most recent occurrence of what has happened, and it's just,
Drink.
I don't have any. It's just the complete disregard. Like, what's so crazy about it is, like I said, I am Latina, but when you hear Latino, Hispanic, Latina, you think cleaning, you think lawn, you think some dumbass shit like that's what we do. We work hard for no money because we fucking do. You could pay us nothing and we still do those shit jobs and we still make shit happen. But yet we still get no accountability. We still get no recognition for nothing. Like I always say, I'm different. I don't even speak the same language as you guys, and I'm the same. I'm an American, but I also speak a different language, and it doesn't get recognized, and that's what sucks. It's always black and white, and I'm sorry, we're gray. We the gray area
Drink.
that nobody talks about. And that's what's upsetting.
well, okay, but it still feels, and I hate to keep beating the fucking same horse, but it sounds like the main issue, should still
Like
be
my
pointed
fist
back
on
at
your
fucking
face.
Spain.
But it can't be pointed back to
For an
Spain.
hour?
Oh, okay.
Fuck.
Next time. This could, yeah.
Fuck. All right, well, we're going to talk about some other stuff. We're going to
Yeah.
cut this conversation
Yeah, because
off.
it ain't going to stop.
Ain't going to stop. We're going to talk in circles.
Yeah, we will. It's no circles. I'm talking the truth and you ain't
No, I
understanding.
know, but I mean, I don't think either of us gave any ground. I think we both
No.
heard what we were saying.
Yeah.
I think we both.
Let's
you
talk
know.
about the heart transplant.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the heart transplant.
All right.
Skip,
Let's,
skip, skippity-doo-dah.
So we're at the end of the power hour, guys.
Yeah, we did it.
Congratulations if you made it through that long set.
Sorry about that. We just get in it.
We it had to be done. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment.
Do what you gotta do.
This will be the last history podcast that we do.
Yeah, sorry. We got into that.
But
It
it had
had to be done
to
just to
happen. We
just
got
to
it done.
we did it.
You're welcome. Let's do a poll.
do a poll.
Let's do a poll.
Let's do a poll.
I like to gauge the fans' feeling. Great Extermination or Great Determination? You decide.
Or Great Termination.
There's no termination. It's the Great Extermination. That's
Great.
what happened.
Great Termination it is.
The Great Determination.
We'll talk about a few lighthearted things to end out the show, so that way
Okay.
we're not leaving you guys on a note of genocide.
Like, whoa, what did they do? It's the world's biggest genocide. You better recognize that shit.
So first thing I wanted to talk about after that is douchebag boss.
Which one?
I love him.
Trump.
Drops 91,000 pennies off on this guy's driveway
Uh-huh.
because the dude, was like, "Hey, I need my last check."
Oh. So
And
he gave him 91,000.
91,000 pennies, $910 worth of pennies.
I would have took them pennies to the bank.
Yeah, he actually. Well, there was a note with it that said like "fuck you, Dickie,"
Great.
and
That is such a me move.
he actually is suing him now with the help of I don't know some
Dumbass.
thing where they're trying to get him for malicious actions after his firing. I don't know. It all seemed kind of cockamamie bullshit. I've seen the guys who have come to the impound lot and dropped off and paid all in pennies and whatnot. Cops get
I've
called.
paid in pennies.
Like, I actually appreciate
Money's
that. I think
money.
it's there's very few moves you can pull off that really sum up your hatred
Pennies
for
is
someone.
Pennies is the move.
Pennies is the move. So I like what this boss did. This guy was just a bitch that he had to move, hundreds of pounds of pennies. He complained that his
Great.
I thought
his wheelbarrow tire broke.
whatever. He'll be all right. I'd have did the same thing. Cheers to pennies.
So first human
What?
heart transplant with a pig's heart happened.
Oh, I thought that happened a long time ago.
Well, apparently not.
Okay.
Just
So
happened.
it went good?
I mean,
Bye-bye, piggies.
that's all I can say is watch out.
We're going to
pigs.
genetically start making pigs so that we can make hearts so humans can live longer.
You see, this is just like Alex Jones was talking about a few years ago with the human-animal chimeras. Splicing the DNA together.
Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly what's going to happen.
Do you remember the movie Splice?
Yes, he fucked that little bitch too.
Oh, yeah, no.
Great.
She was a kind of hot little
No,
monster.
the fuck she wasn't. She had
And
a
then she
tail.
became a dude. And then I was like, oh, I got to totally rethink my life.
Stand you.
Well,
So
I think
she
that's where
wrote-
we'll wrap up
that's where
today's
we can
episode.
Do it. We only got through part 1. Please like, subscribe for part 2. Of the
No,
Great
no, we
Extermination.
will not be doing a part 2. Unless
what
it
we're
is
We'll
debate
surprise
style
you.
with a moderator. That's the only way I
And
will
sock
ever do it
and
again.
boppers. Every single time you say something I don't like, bop.
No,
That's-
because what the fuck? I'm not gonna punch you when I don't
Why?
like what you're saying.
And it's not a punch.
Because I'll put
it's
you
a
down.
bop.
I'll put you down.
Then I'll have to put you right back down.
No,
I said a
then I'll be
bop.
looking over my shoulder at Phil the entire time.
That's
like,
all right. You
Drink.
know, I come with protection. I'm
Well-
always protected.
Thanks again for watching the show, guys. Like Yashi said, don't forget to like it, share
Do
it,
all of that.
comment, and
All
most
of it.
importantly, subscribe. You fucking dirt ass bitches.
No, you're not. We love you. Thank you.
Oh yeah, we love you guys. Peace out. Later.